Sup guys, welcome to another tutorial series that I'm going to be doing, and I'm just going to start by apologizing if I sound a little bit tired, but yeah, I'm tired. And now I'm going to do, you already seen in the title, I'm going to be talking about how to actually make a weapon appear in the hand of the player, like you pick it up. I'm going to work on how to fire it, how to reload it, how to play the correct animations and all of that, because in all the videos that I do, and I do a lot of them where you actually have to shoot, I always do like a quick line trace. Like I go over what like actually it is firing a weapon in the game. Like I don't really talk about it. So I'm gonna be doing this series for you to actually learn how to go in the world, pick up a weapon, and actually play it with the correct animations and everything. So I'm gonna be using the first person just for the reason that we already have a weapon and the correct animations for it. So that's gonna be way easier. I'm gonna include the story content if we can, we may be able to use it. And I'm gonna call this. I'm just going to do automatic weapon. That's because what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a kind of an assault rifle as an example, because it's kind of, doing a single shot weapon is like kind of easy, because you actually have to do an automatic one, because the only thing that changes is that you're firing the bullet a lot of times. So I'm just going to go ahead and create the project, and I'll get back in a minute. Okay guys, so with the project open, I'm going to start by doing a couple of changes in the first person blueprint. So you can go over here into the blueprints folder and find your first person character. Double click that open, and now you're going to see over here, you can have you have a spawn projectile comment node, and the code over here basically does what I'm going to be doing today. Maybe not today, but I'm going to do it in the series, but it's just firing the weapon. Now this way we are firing a preset animation or montage, and like we are firing it, spawning a projectile. We're going to be doing this probably close to this way, and we spawn a cell. Now I'm going to leave this step over here because we may use bits of this code, but I'm actually going to just uncheck and unplug this event, because I do not want to do this when I fire. And I'm just going to drag this fire node just to an empty space. And I'm just going to leave it here. We're not going to probably use it just yet. But what I'm going to be starting by doing, actually, I'm going to go into the viewport. And there is something over here, this kind of stuff. The first thing I'm going to do is we have motion controllers. This is VR stuff. I'm not going to touch that. So I'm going to delete it. This sphere, we can delete it. I think we use that for spawning the projectile, but I guess we can go ahead and delete that. But I'm not going to use it. The FP gun, I'm going to delete that because we already have the mesh 2P. Oh, actually, I'm going to need that, sorry. So just don't delete that. This is going to be the gun mesh. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to reset this, and I'm going to do a none. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the first person NMBP, and I'm actually going to open that up because I might need that. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a couple of changes in here. So you're going to see that. I'm going to basically, instead of having like pre-done animations, I'm going to have this as an input that you can do over here in the settings when you click this node. So depending on which weapon we have equipped, we're going to plug something different into here. You're going to see that when I talk about it. So let's just leave that as it is for now. And the first thing that I'm going to do is actually, well, I said, oh, we have an error. That's because I deleted that sphere, and we need that over here probably. It's okay, we can just go ahead and delete that. This is the code that, well, we won't use basically. Just go ahead and, no, I'm gonna leave this. This might do something important. So yeah, the first thing that I said, well, if we play right now, you can see that we cannot fire, and basically we do not have weapon hands. We have the animations. I don't really have idle like a normal lens animation, so I'm gonna leave this as default. But you will see that it won't be a problem. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is, well, I said I was going to go and pick up the weapon in the world, so we're gonna have to create a blueprint for that. So I'm gonna go into blueprints, create a new actor. I'm gonna call this master weapon. I always like to have master blueprints for stuff. It's really easy for me. So it's a really good thing to always create a master of something that you're going to have a lot of instances of. So I'm going to go ahead and create a child blueprint, and I'm just going to call this automatic rifle. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to double click that up, and actually the master one first, because we need to create a couple of stuff. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a skeletal mesh, because this is going to be our weapon mesh. I'm going to drag that to be the center, and I think that's going to be fine. And I'm going to have to create something else. I'm going to right click, go into blueprints, and I'm going to be doing a structure. So I'm going to do as for structure underscore weapon details. And you're going to see, well, with this is going to hold all the details of our weapon. Now, I might not actually put everything into it right now, because I might, when I'm doing the code later on, I might find, well, I remember that I need something in the weapon details. So you can go ahead later and add that in, and it's really easy to, you just go into the instance of the blueprint, and you go over here to the blueprints default, the default variables, and you can change it over here. It's really easy doing this way. So I'm just going to do, well, a name for starters, a name for a weapon. Oh, it's not resetting, never mind. Go into a string, because this is really easy that you can use this as well in an inventory system. So yeah, it's really good. I'm going to go, and the other thing I'm going to need is, let me see. So it is automatic. So you want to know if your weapon is a single shot weapon or a fully automatic. You can actually change this to like do firing modes. So you can change this in real time, and basically you can change a weapon into single shot or automatic. Another thing that we're going to need is going to be, let me see, the magazine size, because we are going to make a reloading system and that stuff later on. So this is I'm going to make this an integer, and I'm going to do magazine size, and I'm going to need the current bullets. Well, I guess there's not going to be really a detail. That is going to be static, is going to change. So I'm probably not going to add this inside the weapon details. I might do that like in a separate variable in the blueprint. So now I'm going to need to create another structure, because you're going to now do a structure for animation. So I'm going to go structure underscore weapon animations, and now inside there I'm going to make basically I'm going to put here all the animations that we probably going to use. So right now I only have like a shoot, walk, and fire, and idle probably. Yeah, we can actually go ahead and take a look at that. Go into the first person animations, and you can see everything we have. So we have a fire, an idle, a jump, and a run. Okay, it's the walk, and this is the fire montage. Now you can use the animation. We're not going to use the montage, so that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put an idle here. Let's see, a walk. Actually, let me just change the type. Now I need to figure out the type, so I'm going to go over here, make this a pin. I'm going to see the type of this. So this is an anim sequence based object. So I'm going to go over here and anim sequence base, and I'm going to make that an object. There you go, and do the same thing with the other one. Anim sequence base. There you go. Idle walk. We're gonna have the shoot, and I'm probably just gonna have the jump as well. So jump B for begin, jump L for loop, the mid-air loop, and the jump E for end. Oh, I need to make this an underscore. There you go. And I don't see anything else we need there right now. Probably a reload, but this pack doesn't really come with a reload animation. I'm just gonna add it, like, you know, just for being consistent. So that's fine. Now we can make out the defaults over here. And the defaults, well, I'm just gonna use the first person idle for this. The walk is gonna be the run. The shoot is fire. Jump beginning or start. Jump loop. Jump end. And because we don't have a reel of animation, I might just use I don't know, a jump loop, you know, just for to having something different there. And when we do this, we can go back to our weapon details. I'm going to create a new variable. I'm going to call this animations, and now I can make a structure variable of this, so weapon animations. And there you go. You can have this, and you can change it over here if you want. We're going to do that in the blueprint. And I don't really think I'm going to need anything for now. I'm just going to create a new variable as well. I'm just going to call it class. This is going to be of the type master weapon class reference. Not, remember, don't make it the object, make it the class. There you go. And I'm going to save that. I might close this one. If we need, we can get back to it. I'm going to go back into the master, and I'm going to, in the master weapon, create a new variable, and I'm going to call this, well, details. I'm going to make structure underscore weapon details. Oh, not animations. There you go. Compile and save. And I'm going to create another variable that we're going to need. I'm going to say current bullets. Integer. And actually, I just remembered something that I'm going to need in the weapon details. So let me just go back there. Sorry about the back and forth. Okay, weapon details. I actually gonna need something which is for the automatic rifles. I'm gonna move this new variable up, so is near that is automatic boolean. I'm just gonna do fire rate. The fire rate of the automatic weapon. I'm gonna make this a float, and I'm gonna say I want you to fire, I guess, 0.25. So 4 times a second. Remember, 1 is 1 second, so it's 1 bullet per second. 0.25 on the fire rate means it's 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1, so it's 4 bullets per second. Now I'm gonna compile the master weapon and save. Now you can go back to the automatic rifle, and in the class defaults, we now have this defaults details, little menu here. Now you can make the name. I'm just gonna call it, I don't know, M4. Just standard, assault rifle. It's automatic. It is. The fire rate, I'm gonna make it probably 0.2, so it's quicker. The magazine size, 30 bullets. The animations, I'm gonna leave them as the default. But now, if imagine that we have the M4, and the AK-47. For the AK-47, we'll come here and change these animations to the AK-47 animations. Now you can see how we can kind of get different animations for each weapon. So you don't really need to make a mess over here. I closed the blueprint. You don't really need to make a mess. We'll just get those animation variable here, and we just plug that into the sequence, and it's really easy. We only need one state machine for this, because we can just dynamically change which animation is being played by the animation pose. So this is really easy and powerful to set up. And now the class is going to be itself, so our automatic rifle. And the current bullets, we don't need to change that yet. But I'm just going to plug this 30 as well, because the current bullets at the start should be of the magazine size. I'm actually going to make it 31 because we want one in the chamber and the entire magazine. And yeah, so now what we actually need to do is going over into the mesh and make this the rifle. So I'm going to make it the VP gun. It's the only thing that I have right now. And I'm probably just going to add a box collision. And I'm going to call this collision. And I'm going to make the collision the root. And I don't know if I can do that. Can I make this the root? I don't think I can. Oh, okay. I'm doing this on the wrong place. We need to go into the master weapon to do this, not the, not one of the instance, not one of the child. We need to go actually to the master blueprint and make that here. So add box collision, call it collision, and now we can drag and make that the root. There you go. We can compile that and save, and now over here we can change the size to what we want. So I'm gonna go and make this of the size of the weapon, and probably a little bit less bigger. There you go, that's fine. So the thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to place this blueprint into the world. I'm going to leave it over here, and I'm just going to make the player walk through it. So like when we walk through it, I'm just going to make it, when we walk through it, we just pick it up. I could do like a button to interact or something, but it's not really the point. I already showed how to do that in previous videos. So I'm just going to make it so when we walk towards and we collide with the collision, we basically pick it up. And I'm just going to prep it up for the next video. So it's actually not that hard. So I'm going to go into the master weapon, event graph, click on the collision, and do an on-begin overlap. Then I'm going to go into the other actor. I'm going to cast to the first person weapon, because now, first person character, sorry. Because now we're going to need to work with the first person character, which I'm going to need to open again because I closed it by accident. And I'm going to need to create one variable to start, and I'm going to call this equipped weapon. I'm going to make this of the type master weapon reference, compile and save. And I'm going to go into the automatic rifle, actually the master weapon, sorry. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to set the equipped weapon. And remember, because this equipped weapon is of the type master weapon, we can now drag from over here and go and get a reference to itself, because we are a master weapon. So when we collide with this, we're going to set our equipped weapon to what we collide with. And then I'm just going to say, well, destroy the actor, because we picked it up. We don't want it to be in the ground anymore. And now if you want to see that happening, I'm going to go into the first person character, event tick, go into the equipped weapon, get the details, break it, so we get the information inside the array. And now I'm just going to say, well, print a string with our with the name of the weapon that we picked up. So I'm going to play. For starters, we're not going to have anything because we do not pick anything. I'm going to pass through it. Wait, what? Well, I should have a print string over here, but I don't for some reason. What's the problem? Again, guys, I'm tired. Like I probably made some stupid mistake and I don't even notice it. So this should be working fine. Equip weapon. And if we are the first person character, we equip and then we destroy the actor. Oh, I know what the problem is. Let me just try and do this way. I'm not gonna destroy the actor. I'm just gonna play. If I walk through it, now you can see it works. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. Because this is we are getting a reference of an existing blueprint. When I destroy the actor, this blueprint will cease to exist, this actor. And because this is a reference to an actor, if the actor stops existing, the reference is going to be turning to null, because you know, you can't reference something that doesn't exist. So the way that it's going to work is that when we equip it, I'm going to do that in the next video. When we actually set this to equip, before we do this, I'm actually going to go into the first person character, and I'm going to spawn the character again, destroy the one in the ground, and spawn a new one into the hands of the player. And then I'm going to set the equipped weapon to that thing that we spawned. And then the reference will be valid because we do have an existent object to match that actor. I hope I'm making sense. So because you can reference something that doesn't exist, we need to create the weapon and then store it into this blueprint, this variable. and then it will be valid, and we will be able to use it to make the rest of the code. So I was doing this to actually show you it worked, but yeah, I'm just gonna delete this because I'm gonna use this in the next video, but I don't want to be doing anything more because it's already 20 minutes. But again, as I said, in the next video, I'm gonna make it so when we pick it up, we're gonna making the weapon spawn in our hands, and then probably just setting up our animations properly, using what I said to plug in the animations into the sequence. And yeah, that's gonna be it. If you guys have any suggestions for this series or any doubts, leave them in the comments. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.